I love that. I love that. I'm going to start. How many sides? We have two sides. So when I say, how are you feeling today? I want you, this side, to say good as loud as you can, okay? And then when I say, how are you feeling today? I want you to say good as loud as you can, okay? We're going to start with this side. How are you feeling today? I love that. I love that. Great job. Great job. How's everyone feeling over here today? Awesome, awesome. So I'm excited to be here. As your principal shared, my name is Coach Jay. I am a person who just loves to be around youth, that loves to be around kids your age, and I love the faces that I'm seeing. I see a huge difference, and the difference that I'm seeing has been influenced by Ruby Bridges. So the diversity that I'm seeing here today. How many of us know what diversity means? Raise your hand if you know what diversity means. Do I have a volunteer to come up and talk about diversity? You want to come up and talk and share what diversity means? Yeah. You want to say your name first? Go ahead, turn around.
My name is Safra, and what is
Does anyone want to help her? Okay. Gonna help her. You want to state your name? She's going to help you out.
Hi, my name is Beren, and diversity means all different types of skin color and all different types of people.
Awesome, awesome. You want to say it?
Diversity means all type of skin colors.
Awesome. Let's give them a round of applause. So what we just saw there was someone helping someone else out, right? That's an act of kindness. So when we talk about Ruby Bridges, how many of us have heard of Ruby Bridges? That's why we're here today, right? Awesome, awesome. Now, I need one more volunteer to come up and talk a little bit about Ruby Bridges before I kind of get into. Okay, you want to come up and volunteer? Want to say your name and then talk a little bit about Ruby Bridges?
My name is Caleb, and Ruby Bridges was a little girl who fighted, she followed racism and she followed the school.
Let's give him a round of applause. Alrighty, so I'm gonna talk a little bit about, I'm gonna add on to what he said. So with Ruby Bridges, she was a little girl who integrated into a school where there were just one race, so white people, and she was black. The school that she attended, a lot of the individuals there weren't ready to accept her because of her race. And sometimes when that happens, a lot of things happen, such as bullying, right? People not being kind because they see someone different from themselves. And I'll share a little experience that I have and that I have had going through life just in general, being African American. And so with Ruby Bridges, when she attended the school, U.S. Marshals, so like the police officers, had to go in and escort her in with her family so that she would stay safe. And one of the things that happened when she went into one of the the classrooms, a lot of the parents pulled their kids from those classes because they didn't want their students to be in the classroom with her because she was black. And so she ended up going to school most of the time by herself in her classroom. And so her difference, her race, made her stand out. And the experiences that she went through a lot of psychological experiences. So she felt sad. How many of us sometimes feel sad? Right? How many of us go through different emotions, sadness, anger, things of that nature, right? And so I want you to understand that anger is okay. It's okay to feel angry sometimes, but what we have to do is not act on the anger, right? So when we're angry, being able to talk it out, being able to still act in kindness. And so with Ruby Bridges, she went through a time where she had to go to counseling, which is sitting with someone and talking about her experience. But she made a huge impact on the world. As we see today, we're honoring Ruby Bridges. And so some of the things that I think that we can take away from Ruby and her experience, she was a trailblazer. She was a leader. She stepped into an experience that was challenging at the time, right? For a little girl, I believe she was 8. Was she 8? She was 10?
6.
6. She was 6, so she was younger than a lot of us here, but she was 6 years old. So imagine being a 6-year-old little girl walking into a school where everyone is different from yourself and being able to walk through that experience. And so when we talk about Ruby Bridges, there's a quote that she had that I really liked, and it states, "Don't follow the path, go where there is no path and start a trail." How many of us know that we have gifts inside of us? Who's gifted in here? Raise your hand if you're gifted. Meaning if you have something that you enjoy doing that you're naturally good at. So that's drawing, singing, dancing, something that reading, writing. Awesome. Everyone's hand should be up. You know why everyone's hand should be up? Because you're all gifted. Each and every one of you have a gift within inside of you, just like Ruby. And sometimes, just like Ruby, we may feel scared, fearful, in being able to carry out those gifts that we have, right? If you have your hand up, I want you to put your hand down. Then I want you to put your hand up again. Put your hand down. Awesome. I just want to make sure you're listening. I love that. And so being able to understand that you all are gifted and using Ruby as an example, right? Sometimes it's scary going through this world and seeing people that are different from ourselves. But you know what I realized? When we talk to someone, have you ever seen someone that's different from you and you feel kind of different, but once you start talking to them, sometimes they become your best friend, right? How many of us have experienced that? They become your best friend. And so what we can learn is not allowing our differences to separate us, but allowing our differences to bring us together. All right? And that's what diversity is. Being able to see that there are differences, whether that's our culture, right? So for me, in my culture, something that I like to do in my culture is cook, right? And there's different types of foods that I like to eat. And so being able to take those different types of food and share them with my friends that may be from a different culture. And so understanding that you all are gifted and the differences that you have, it's actually a strength. So being able to look at that as, you know what, I'm gifted. Empower yourself to be able to share that gift with others, okay? And so what does it mean to be kind? Come on, you want to volunteer? What does it mean to be kind?
Yeah. Be kind to something. Be nice.
Love it, I love it. You want to give you a clapper? Clapper. And so being kind, as your student leader shared earlier, being able to treat others how you want to be treated, right? What does that look like? I'll share an experience with you. My daughter, I have 2 kids. I have a 14-year-old daughter and a 15-year-old son. And my daughter, she was bullied most of her life. So from the age of, I think it was around 2nd grade all the way to 5th grade, she was bullied. And what that did for her, she was sad a lot. She felt like she didn't belong. It was hard for her to make friends because she was used to people talking about her. And they talked about her because she looked different, right? And so being able to go through that experience with her, I had to comfort her. I had to remind her, you're beautifully and wonderfully made, just like each and every one of you. And so her going through that, it took time for her to see the specialness, that's not a word, but I'm gonna make it a word today, but being able to see how special she was and how special she is now. And understanding that sometimes people don't understand who we are, right? And so being able to give people a chance and other kids a chance to meet you. How many of us like to smile? Can you all smile big for me? I want to see the smiles. Smile, smile big for me. Let me see your smile. Awesome, awesome. You all have beautiful smiles. A smile goes a long way. When I'm at the grocery store, you know what I do when I walk through the grocery line? The first thing I do is I smile and I ask the cashier, how are you doing today? That's kindness. Because I care. Caring is kindness, right? If someone drops something, I'm probably the first person to go and pick it up. Because I want to help. Helping others is kindness. It's a way of being kind, right? Being able to share. One thing I used to do, if I see someone who doesn't have food and I have some food, being able to share that food, right? I'll share a time I was driving down the street and I saw a homeless person, a person who's homeless, and they had a sign. And my daughter, she told me, she said, Mom, can we go buy him something to eat? So we went to the nearest fast food restaurant and we bought him a meal and we gave him the meal. So being able to share and give to those around us, right? The other thing I wanted to talk about is ending racism. Right, Ruby Bridges is, as she shared earlier, a huge activist. She went through an amazing experience to be able to pave the way for us today. One of the main reasons we are here today and we are so diverse, we can thank Ruby Bridges for being a part of that. And so understanding that when it comes to racism, it's something that is taught. And so being able to have compassion and love and kindness within inside of our hearts and being able to invite others into that, right? So when you see someone that's not being treated kindly, what should we do? Speak up, right? How many of us agree? Should we speak up? Yes, so if you see something or you see someone being unkind, you don't have to be unkind to them. You can go to them and say, you know what? Let's be kind together. Be an example, right? Show them what it looks like to be kind. Alrighty? Being able to use kind words. Sometimes we say things that may be unkind and we make mistakes, right? But being able to fix the mistake. Apologizing. You know, I'm sorry, I see that I use, and I heard earlier that I can actually use this word, which is microaggressions, right? I said something that may have been unkind and I'm sorry. Being able to apologize, right? But I want you to take a look, I want you to take a minute and look around you. Just look around you. Look around you. Do you see someone different from yourself? Raise your hand if you see someone different from yourself. That's huge. When I went to school, I didn't see a lot of people that were different from me. Right? And so you all have an amazing opportunity. You all are the leaders of, they say tomorrow, but you all are the leaders of today. And so being able to be an example to each other, being able to look at differences as an opportunity to be able to get to know someone outside of yourself. Alrighty? I just want to read this last little piece for you all. So, I didn't even say the title of this, but the title of this is It's a Choice. So we all have a choice, okay? We all have the opportunity to make a decision, right? And so knowing that racism is taught. So if I don't like someone based on how they look and I don't know them, I had to learn that from somewhere. So being aware, understanding that just because someone's different doesn't mean that they're mean or they're a certain thing that we may think. We have to get to know them, right? And so what I want to read to you all is, what choice will you make? So when you come into an opportunity or you're going through something where you see someone different from yourself or you see someone being bullied or you may have bullied yourself, right? And so understanding that you have a choice, you can be kind, right? So I want to encourage you to be fearless. How many of us know what fearless means? Fearless basically means stepping into situations or getting into spaces where you may feel a little fear, but you still face it, knowing that you have a choice to make a difference. That's what Ruby did for us. And so I want to encourage you to be fearless, to be kind, to be love, to be joy, to be compassionate. How many of us know there is only one you? There's only one you. In this whole entire world, there's only one you, right? So be the best you can be. You are loved, you are amazing, and you are gifted. Just like Ruby, you're a trailblazer. A lot of you may be the first person in your family to do a lot of things, whether it's going to college, whether it's starting a business, whether it's using your gifts to make a difference. You'll be the first one in your family to do that. And so you are meant to stand out and shine bright. People call me sunshine. Can you guys hear me? If you can hear me, put your hand up. If you can hear me, put your hand down. Awesome. So I'm going to end on this. People call me sunshine. Can anyone guess why people call me sunshine? You want to guess? You want to guess? You want to guess? Alrighty, people call me sunshine, and the reason that they call me sunshine is because I have a huge personality. Right now I'm kind of hot because I have this big jacket on, but I have a huge personality. And they call me sunshine because I always say where light is, darkness can't exist. So each of you are a bright, shining light. And so when you go throughout life and you meet other people, being able to connect with them and using their differences as an opportunity to show love and to show compassion and empathy. Alrighty? There's one last thing I wanted to do. I wanted to give an opportunity for us to acknowledge a guest, and her name is Tanya Clay. Tanya Clay, can I have you walk to the front? Let's give her a round of applause. And this is Dr. Colefield's mother. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. And I just want to give her a few minutes to speak, but Dr. Colefield shared with me that Mrs. Clay is very similar to Ruby Bridges. So she's our Ruby Bridges today, right? And so I'm going to give her an opportunity to share a little of her story. So if you all can, put your hand up again. If you can hear me, put your hand down. Hand up again. Awesome. So I'm going to turn it over to Ms.
Well, hello, boys and girls. How are you today? Wow! I think all of you are very fine today. Wasn't that a wonderful story about Ruby Bridges? Yeah. And each one of you can be trailblazers as well. Well, I had the opportunity to do something very, very special. It was a long time ago, before you were even thought about. But back in the 70s, there were opportunities for people like me, an African American, to go to special schools. And I was able to be selected to go to a high school, and actually what they call is like break the glass or break a window, like go through something that nobody else has done before. And this high school happened to be purely white. And I wasn't sure that I really wanted to do that, but I had that word fearless. I had a little bit of fear in my heart, but then there was some courage that I gained to be able to do this. So I was selected to go to this school, and I was one of 2 black people or 2 African Americans to integrate this fully white school. The school was called College Prep. It was in Berkeley, California, right on the corner of Alcatraz and Claremont. Well, I have to say,